Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I can see you're logging on already, so it's nice weather as well today, isn't it? So hopefully you use this regular slot now. So let me just say hello to you. My name's Simon Williamson, in case you haven't met me before, and I'm here on every Monday with some inspiration from the lovely AVAGO collection. We have got a Facebook and we are on other social platforms, so if you want to like and subscribe, then you'll be kept informed with any news that's coming up about our fantastic brand. And it is really fantastic. I have fun with it, and I hope you have fun with it too, and I hope it gives you some inspiration on a weekly basis. So let's have say hello to a few people, then let's join. So we've got Maureen on. So hi, Maureen and Joe. Denise, Irene's on. Welcome. And if anybody else joins, just if you need any questions answering as we go, just put QQQ at the beginning. And Brenda's on as well. Hi, Brenda. It's a new name. I don't think I recognise that one, but hi, Brenda. Thanks for joining us. Whether you're in the UK or further afield, it's really nice to have your company. I appreciate your time and hopefully you get inspired by this. So just two things to mention. So first of all, I'm so proud of Facebook. We've got over 600 followers, officially over 600 followers now. So to celebrate, there's a bit of a giveaway. So if you don't already follow us, give us a follow, or give us a like, get your friends to follow as well if you think it's of interest to them. And there's a little competition running on the page, which will finish tonight at midnight. I'm going to pick a giveaway winner. So it's definitely worth going to have a look on that post on Facebook and entering into a competition. And then also, I did say last week, but you might be new this week, but we have been nominated for one of the Best of Craft awards. So it really means a lot to me if you've got the time to go and spend a vote for us. We're in Best for Kids collection. There's lots of brands on there. And there's lots of other categories. So go and support the brands that you love, whether it's mine or not, it doesn't matter. It's taking part that counts, isn't it? So go and support those little brands and them companies that you really like, go to for craft and share the love of the craft, as Tony Dacrose says. So yes, that's it. So let's get started. So the first demo we're going to do today is using the Fallen Star background, which is that massive whopper of a stamp. You can see it's a massive A5 stamp, that one. And I thought it were really good to pair it with like a faded background. I'm going to create this card together. So this one says star. Now this sentiment's from Tony Dacrose Stamps by me, and it's just a star one shed for Christmas, but it's not really a Christmassy one, is it? You can use it any time of the year. So star celebrates somebody's success. So it'd be a really good card for us to make. Let's make this one then. I'm going to bring up the stamping platform first. And I've cut a strip of watercolour card. I'll tell you what measurements it is. So this it's 4.5, and I've left it the length, just so I've got somewhere to put my magnet. I'm going to trim it back down to 7 after I've actually done the actual embossing. So it gives me some kind of security so it doesn't move. So I'll pop that right up there at the top. And we're going to bring in that massive stamp look and make sure that covers where we want it to. Might as well, love, so it's got a bit of ink on it. That's good, isn't it, though? We don't want these products to be used once and put away. Just pick that up, make sure it's secure. Excellent. So for some embossing, I'm going to use the anti-static bag. So let's give that a good tap and a rub around. Got a few other people now joining us. We've got Bridget on, we've got Maureen. Hello, thanks for joining. And I'll just get my... Ooh, where's my embossing pad? Give me 2 seconds, just grab one. Here we go. So we're going to really make sure this is covered. It's got some lovely details in there. It's like the trailing stars and the little baubles are going all the way down it. Such a versatile image, this one. Give that a good push down. And this is where I want to secure it with this magnet, so that I can go back in if I need to. So I make sure I get all that detail in that design. So Donna says, sorry, a bit late, computer had to go on an update. Oh, computers, they're terrible, aren't they? Don't worry, you've not missed much, I promise you, we're just starting. Nice for you to join. I hope you've all got a nice drink with you. Oh, there's lots of people saying they've already voted, so thank you for that, it really does mean a lot. I'm going to go over one more time just to make sure I've got all that nice detail. A good push down. Here we go. There you go. We've got slight pigmentation that impact, so you can see where it's actually going to take hold. So that's brilliant. So let's just bring that up now. Just get rid of the stamps. We don't need that. Piece of paper there. And we use the AVAGO-INK gold embossing. So I think this really works with the stars. So I'm just going to make sure we cover all this area. I chuck it all on me. You can always collect it afterwards, can't you? We're not going to waste any. And then we're just going to tip that off. Give that a little bit of a tap. You can see we've got some lovely detail there ready to eat embossed. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a wobble to get them loose flakes. And we'll get that in our tub so we don't waste it. I do love embossing. And gold's got to be a classy one on it. It's always in your stash. Just put that in there a second. And let's make this emboss now a bit twinkly. There we go, starting to go. And you can tell with the gold, especially when it's taking a hold. So we're just going to follow it around to make them go shiny, and then you know you've covered it. Just follow it around. Oh, nearly bit of the fingers there. There you go, it's heating up a bit faster now. And turn it around to what's best for you to work. And you can see all them little bits that need doing again. Nearly there. There we go. You can see even on its own, that's such a lovely background. You can see all them I'll just make it, see all the beads are going through. It's like little strings into it. And it works in both orientations. But what I'm going to do is trim it down to 7 inches now. So we'll bring it by cutter. Put that onto the 7. And just get rid of that little bit that we don't need. And we're going to work on this now. So let's have a look. Put it on the Eureka, it's a bit something I can wipe afterwards. We'll need a colour for this one. On the original one, we did it in blue. So if you've got any suggestions what colour you'd like, we could go for, got red, purple, greens. First one to suggest we can go with that. So it's up to you now. Interactive. Donna says she loves this stamp, it's so pretty. It is, isn't it? Oh, is no one going to pick a colour for me? So I'm just going to wet this card down so we can get a good base layer of colour on it when we do decide. The Panda Craft says green, right, we're going green then. I'm just going to give that a quick push of water and we'll bring our paints in. So let's get some nice green. I'll go for this rich emeraldy kind of colour. Sylvia from Red Hot Gibraltar. Oh, I bet it's lovely there. Mix some more of that green in. Trying to make a nice wash for it. And I'm going to swap to my larger brush. I'm just going to start brushing this in from the top. It might be quite pale at first, that's fine. I just want to try and get that colour on though at first. And I'm brushing it down to this edge, which is a little bit paler, so it's a little bit more ombre. I'm going to deepen that wash up now with some more pigment. And we just start building it up and washing it back again. Dragging it down towards that base. And I'm going to swap to a slightly smaller brush, just so I can really get a concentration of that green going. It's a good colour choice, this one. I forgot who chose it now. Oh, Panda Crafts went it. The green and the gold look really well. So we're just dragging that down. You can see it's starting to look more of an ombre. And then just drag that down to the pale area at the bottom. There we go. I like that. Sylvie says, love your videos. Oh, thank you. That's really nice for you to say. I'm just going to move this under here. That a quick wipe. I'm just going to give this a blast with a heat gun now, seeing that it's wet, so we can dry it out a little bit. You can always go in again as well if you want to add more pigment, but as with all watercolour, as it dries, it fades back a bit, so sometimes you need to dry it to see where you're at. Panica says beautiful. I've done a good job with the green. So dry the back as well, so it flattens it out a bit. I'll just wipe this bit off our mat that we don't need. Don't want to get messy. So you can see now we've got a really nice background. You can see it kind of goes darker to lighter, and it's just really simply done that one, isn't it? So nice bit of detail, and you've got that darker at the top, pale at the bottom. You certainly have, Simon. It was a great colour choice. It was, wasn't it? Right, so what I'm going to do now is I need to put some die cuts into this. And it's going to give us like a faux area in the centre. So we're going to use a square in this actual top half here. And that's where we're going to put our little star in our design. So I've already got some dies. I've got a square one and I've got an inner one. And it's going to take out a section for us. So if I use some masking tape, then I can keep these dies exactly where I want them before I position them. Let's position that. Just get a bit more tape. Who caught the Amala show the other day? There was some lovely stuff on there, weren't there, for the Christmas launch? There we go. We just put it into position. And that's going to give us our like little focal point now. So you can see we've put that square in there. So I'm going to pop this onto the plate. So it's upside down on this. Oh, I'm glad I checked it. It just fell off. Just feel that again. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to pop that through the die cutter now. Cameron says it looks lovely. Oh, thank you. But you know, the thing is with gold embossing, you can put any colour on there. It works well with the reds, purples. I always think blue and gold, though, is a kind of a really nice, kind of classy combination, isn't it? Let's take this out. Just be careful with my tape. Don't want it to damage what we've done. Give that a push down. That's our centre bit, which we're going to need in a second. It's really just took hold of this card, so I'm just trying not to rip it. So if I'm quiet for a second, pull that back. Oh, it's just caught the card, I'm afraid. Get this lower bit off. Obviously, it wasn't exactly dry. It's probably my own fault, that. Just pull that back. Ease it down. There we go. And what I'll do is I'll just quickly go in with that green wash just to cover those little bits of white off that it's took off. You'll never notice once I've blended them. There we go. What we can do now is we can get this mounted up on our layers. So I've got a white card, got a black layer, nice shiny piece of gold, and then we're going to put our actual green aperture into place. So let's get all that mounted together, and that's going to create our actual background ready. So let's get, I'm going to use the tape runner for this one. Put the black down first onto the white card. Make sure that's central, and we can build from there. So Donna says, blue and gold always reminds me of Egyptian art. It does, doesn't it? It's just so regal. It's like red and gold's always, to me, very Chinese orientated. Put that through. Give that a good push down. And then we'll get our background that we've created put down now. We'll make sure we've got tape runner down the size of the frames. And we can get this into our card. Make sure we've got that gold equal all the way around. Put it down a little bit. Just going to get my scissors, just cut it a little bit longer than last time. So I'm going to trim a little bit off the bottom, just so we can get that nice gold edge going all the way around. A little bit more. There we go. You'd never know. Give that a good push down. That green and gold looks lovely on there, doesn't it? And then we've got our centre area here. So what we're going to do is we're going to build up some words first of all to go in there. And we're going to use a star. Now this is one of these Stamps by Me ones. This is a star collection. And these have just got the letters in there. If you like rats as well, you can use it for that. So you can spell any words you like. Or even art. That would be a good one, wouldn't it? Maybe better than rats, I don't know. Right, it's going to bring up the die plates again. So I'm going to lay these down first so I know where they are on the mat. There we go. And I've got a strip of black and a strip of gold. So let's do with the black first. We're going to run this through twice. Put that way, actually. I've got it first upwards on. I'm going to just double check, yep. And then we'll run these through. I know, don't know, well, you know what I mean? Some people might craft for arts, you never know. So we'll run them through first. And then we can just pull them off the board. So we've got our components there. And I'm going to put this gold through now. Pop that down. And run it through one more time. I'm doing this, so we've kind of got a drop shadow, but traditionally you put the black at the back. And I thought it'd be nice to put the black to the front this time, so it makes it pop a little bit more. Just pull that off. So we've got his letters in gold. And then we need to cut out a star now, so we might as well do all the cutting now and then we can assemble it together, can't we? Right. It's got a nice glittery card there, so let's pop that there. Run this through. Angela says rats is what she says when she's cut something wrong. I think I say a lot more than that, don't I? To be honest. It's so frustrating, isn't it, when you finish a project, it's the last thing, and then you accidentally cut it wrong. So we've got a nice gold star. And then I'm just going to cut it out to black as well, so we've got a nice shadow layer for our star as well when we compile this together. Just pop that through. Nearly there. So you're enjoying the weather now then, so it's a little bit cooler. Here we go. I'll just move that out of the way. Says those die plates are hardly built and obviously used a lot. Can't wait for someone's like, I know, they do get some hammer these, don't they? I've got to say, they're doing really well. I've got to say. Right then, so we've got our stars and we've got our letters. Let's start with our letters first. So I'm going to put the gold at the back. So let's position them all the right way first, and we're not going to get them upside down. We've got star, which needs to go that way. There we go. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the black letters. And I'm going to use the gold to actually give them a bit of a drop shadow. So I'm going to go at a diagonal, just so it picks out that detail. There we go, so that's that one. More glue on this one. Same again. I'm just using like a diagonal point on the letter. Hold that down just a grip. And we've got his T. Get the A done. It's such a versatile one, this one as well. The star isn't Christmas, is it? It can be any celebration. And then we'll get the R done. I'm concentrating now. Look, I've gone quiet. Okay, just push that down. That's our letters, and they just really pop with the black at the front. And then with this, I could do the same again. I could put the black at the front, but I think it's the star I want to be more at the forefront. I'm going to move it down a little bit. So we've got the black at the back and the gold at the front this time. Now let's get a bit of glue on this. And then we're just going to drop that down, same as we did with the letters, a little bit of an angle, just to make that star pop. And then we've got all those components now. So we bring this back in, we're going to assemble this one now. So let's get a bit of height going. So I've got some foam pads. So the first thing I want to do is raise this square up in the centre. Let's get some foam pads on the back of that. Just get those little backings off. I'm going to put that dead in the centre there, look. And then we'll get some foam pads on the star to bring it up even more. Got to be a gold star, hasn't it, Maureen? Just tradition, isn't it? Oop, one more back. There we go. And then just make sure that you put the star the same direction as your shadow for your letterings. It looks a little bit off if not. Let's get that right into the centre of that square that we've done. And then our letters, we'll get on foam pads as well. Get the letter T on one. You could have these letters made as well, couldn't you? If you like the format of it, you could have them all made in like a little container, so you've got all letters and you can do names and things. Okay. I'm going to take the backings off. And the best thing I do when I'm doing a word is to actually centralise your project. So never start left to right, always start in the middle. So if I've got the word star. Oh, get this last one off. So we want to do the T and the A first of all. If I put the T down first, and then the A next to it, then you've got your space in there going on between your letters. So you can make sure they're spot on first. So I'm going to bring that A down just a tad. And then we can go in with the S. Then the R. There we go, we'll just move that off. And there you go. That's our first mate, using that lovely fallen star background, which you may have already got in your stash if you've got some AVAGO products. But if not, get your big background stamps out and make a really funky background like that. And that ombre effect with a watercolour is so versatile, so you can pick the colour that you're feeling for that card. So I can see that you've all enjoyed that one, so that's the first demo. So what we're going to do anyway is we're going to play some inspiration from the AVAGO range, and I'll join you back here in a couple of minutes for the next demonstration. So I'll see you in a second.
Hi, my name's Simon Williamson. I'm the guest demonstrator for AVAGO-INK Designs. AVAGO-Inks it's basically images that we can put together so anybody can have a go. I think I love the most about crafting is it can just give you time out in your own head. You can just down tools, not think about your mobile phone and just enjoy what you're going to do, create a project and be proud of what you've made. My inspiration comes really from lots of sources. I love looking at current trends, I like looking through the internet, and I like looking at what other people make, and I think truly inspiration comes from picking bits out of everything you see, pull it all together and make it something that you can do with your skills. AVAGO products, we've got 3 collections out at the moment. We've got as Dinosaur range, as Farmyard range, and as Little Owl collection. And the main crux of the actual designs is there's a big image there, little characters you can play around, have fun, and there's always some puns in there as well, so you can liven up the card and make it a bit humorous for everybody. I think if you're thinking about trying one of our products, don't be afraid. Just buy any of the kits that you feel like you want to, and you'll always create a really good card from there. There's some good characters, good sentiments, and some really fun images in there. So just grab one and have a go.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little demonstration of some of the AVAGO products. Some of the early ones were in that one as well, so it's nice. And I thought the next card I've made would actually be using the earlier collection, because obviously there's a lot of new followers to AVAGO and they probably don't know our earlier works. So I thought we'd go back to the Farmyard collection. I'm going to do this lovely little demo here. And this is just a simple one showing you some components from these sets. And this one's just a lovely flowery kind of border, a sentiment on there, and our lovely cow. And I know these are in stock, so if anybody hasn't got these or haven't seen them before, you can go to the AVAGO on the Outercraft Network section and you can see all the products, but they are available, these lovely little farmyard critters. So let's start with this one then. So I'm going to bring up a piece of scrap card. I've already cut a centre panel for this one, so I've got a nice piece of white card. And I just want to give a little bit of a hint of a colour. So I've got Distressed Oxides, I've got the Mowed Lawn, and I've got the Broken China, which are my 2 go-to colours really for sky and the grass. So let's just give that a blend from the top down. We all have go-to colours though, don't we? I've got to say. So I'm just giving that, some of that blue onto the top, blending it down onto the actual card. See how that goes. Not sure if I've got a little bit of residue on this from another ink, but it seems to be a little bit waxy. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. I'll just bring that blue in. Don't want to make it too dark, just want to give that hint at the top. And I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to flip over to the Mowed Lawn one. This lovely green colour that I've got. I'm just going to run this along the bottom edge here. You don't have to go too far up because in the design that I've done, you only need a small strip at the bottom. drag that across a bit more. There we go. Just move them out of the way. You can see now we've got this grass line, we've got a sky here, and this bit I'm purposely not going to pay attention to because our fence is going to cover that part up. I'm going to pop that to one side now. I'm going to bring up a scrap of card I've got. I've just found some scrap paper in my stash, and this is like a lovely wood kind of colour I've got. So I'm going to give this a bit of rigidity, but it's a little bit too thin. So I've just got a piece of blank card here. So let me just quickly just put a little bit of glue on it. I think I'm also just going to run the tape runner along the card just for a bit more grip as well. Just pop that on there. Make sure it lines up. Give that a good push down. I love them projects like this as well, because you get to use all these scraps of cards that we've got in his collections. That's brilliant. So in the farmyard set as well that I was using, we've got a lovely kind of fence stamp there. I want to use this one to actually create this kind of border for us. I'm just going to stick that onto my palette. I'm just going to give it a quick wipe because I've got some glitter on there. It's not going to stick very well if it's got the glitter on. And my trusty VersaFine black. So let's start this off. Make sure we've got ink on our stamp. I'm going to start from this edge. I'm just going to continue the design. And this stamp's been designed in such a way that you can do that really easily. So I'm going to level up with this edge. Give that a good push down. Use a stamping block for this, then we can build the design as we go. Same with this one. Just put it up to the last one. Push that down. Oh, I'm loving how this is looking already. Oh, I'd love a picket fence. I just don't want to paint one. Push that down. And this last one's going to go off the card a little bit, which is fine. There we go. So straight away, you can see by choosing this kind of wood kind of paper we've got, it really gives us that definition that we want for our border. So if I just now snip into this a little bit, so I'm going to snip down this edge here just so we can level it off. And I'm just going to cut the actual V's on the top of the fence as well. So to make it easy, I'm just going to snip down this bit so I can work with it a little bit easier in my hand. I'm just going to chop down this bit. I'm not bothered if it's not right up to the black line as well. I just want to get a little bit more neat to the design. And then the best way to do the V's is to cut one way into the tops. And then because you're going in one direction, you can get a bit of a rhythm going then, you see. Rather than doing one at a time. So putting this way into the V's. And then turn it around and we'll go backwards. So we can cut into it this way. Ooh. I think I've just put my tape runner just a little bit high, you see, so it's just nipping it, but we'll get there. Just do a few more till we get to the end. And there is a die that comes in the kit as well, but I just think I like how it continuously joins if you do it this way. If you find it easy, you could always piece the sections together instead. So nearly there. And then last one. And there we go. And just get rid of all these bits that we don't need. There'll be all over carpet now to get me over out. Tony will be shouting at me. So you can see already we've got a lovely scene setter there going off, and it just breaks up them kind of two barriers. So we've got the sky and the grass now, and we've got that there. I'm not going to trim it yet because I've not yet placed it, but we know we've got that bit made now. So the next thing we're going to move on to now is these flowers on these designs, and I've chosen colours on this one in kind of a plain tone. So I thought on this next one what we'll do is we'll do a bit of a pattern paper just to break it up a little bit. I've already cut some ready on some scraps of pattern paper that I've got. But I just need to have another colour, so I thought I would go for this kind of red gingham that we've got. And that'll just bring them flowers back in as well. Gives a bit more texture as well, not using plain card. So just a strip of card that I've got. I've got our flowers laid down. Use that magnet to hold it in place again. Let me just pick this one up. It's a really good way using these scraps, though, I'll tell you. And anything that saves us a bit of money as crafters, we all welcome, don't we? And give that a good push down to make sure we get a nice crisp image. There we go. Take them off there. And I'm just going to die cut these out now. Now in the actual animal kit, you get all the little dies for all the accessories. So it's really easy to get the bits you need. Just take some of this stickiness off so it doesn't pull it like last time. Right. I'll just position these over the ones that we need. Make sure we've got them little stalks in there. You could do these in white as well if you wanted to like colour them in. But I just think this is quite a nice way of getting a flower without taking all the detail and taking ages to do it. Bring in these plates again. Just flip this over. And we just run that through. So I've already got a few colours already started, but I just thought we'd add a red to it as well, so I've got a little bit more detail. Turn that one over. Take this tape off. Here we go. Get that last bunch of flowers. We've got some lovely detail on them. Move them dies out the way. So now what we need to do is build up our flower border. So the best way of doing this one that I found is to turn the fence over, so you're working on the reverse of it, and then use a tape runner. Just run it as close to those V's that you've cut in at the top. Get a nice layer of that going, and then you're going to have a bit of fun with these. So just remember though, you're going to put them face down, not face up. So let's just get some different colours scattered in. You can always turn it over if you want to see what's going on. I think we're going to have a nice blue one over here. Have a red one over this side. Have a yellow one. Just building it up a little bit. And you can just turn it over so we can see what we've got up to now. You can see we've got a nice flower line developing. So we've got a few gaps and there's some different colours. I haven't got any blue at this side. Let's get some blue over there just peeping through. I think we'll have blue flower a little bit lower there. And then we'll have another blue one just there. And we'll fill these gaps in then with what we've got left. So it's really full. There you go, got some lovely patterns in there. You can see all the colours and the patterns will go well together. So let's get this onto our blank card first of all so we can assemble onto this. So I've just got a DL white card. I've already scored it down the centre. And we're just going to get that on there. Let's have a bit of wet glue on this time. Just make sure we get right to the edge. Get that black on there so it makes it pop. And then we'll get our lovely background that we created. With our distress oxides, and that just gives you the sky and the grass layers. And always finish your card to the end, because sometimes you look at things, you think, my blend is not like I want it to be. You really won't see it by the end project. It'll give you the kind of tones that you need. Okay, so we've got that. So that's going to be next to go on our card, so we know exactly where it's going to go. So we want to trim this off, this little bit of white. So let's get that bit trimmed off first, just to neaten it up. And I can lay that down now, and I can work to where I want to go. So I know it's going to go up to that little black line there. Let's just snip that other one off that we don't need. Perfect. So let's get some foam pads on that to raise it up a little bit. Also put the foam pads over the flowers as well and give them a little bit more stability, just in case any come loose. Just take them right to the edge. And I'm just going to put some at the base as well, just to make sure it's really well secure. Just get them backings off. If you ever get any backings that don't come off as well, just put a blob of glue on the back as well. But it gives you the support, even if it's not directly stuck. It will help your card. There we go. So let's lace that onto our grid. So we're going to put it just there. Press that down, make sure it's there. So we've got our lovely flower line going now. So now I'm going to work on our sentiment. So I'm going to bring up the stamping platform again. And we've got our happy birthday to Moo sentiment, which is lovely. And then I've also got our really cheeky cow that we're going to be using. Let's get them cut out. Put that on there. Versifying black as well, so it gets nice crisp kind of print on that. Such a cheeky face answer though, I've got to say. Put that down. Just going to go over that again just to make sure I get a really crisp sentiment. Because what Donna says, I remember you doing this with fish set and seaweed, so it has to be good to remember. You know, we forget about so many different kind of like ideas we have. We really do. I'm going to take that out now. So I'm not going to keep the sentiments as one. I want to just break it up a little bit. So I'm going to cut into these words. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get rid of the cow a second and put that to one side. I'm just going to kind of like fussy cut around the sentiment a little bit. And then just separate the actual words as well. And then chop round them a bit to make them a little bit uneven so it's easier to frame. We've got the happy. Chop the birthday one a little bit funny. Birthday. 2. And then moo. Let's just move them scrap bits off that we don't need. I'm going to bring back in them the colours that we use on the flowers, to use them as actual edging. So I've got the reds, the blues, the yellows and the oranges. So we're just going to mount these onto these scraps now and then recut round them. So let's go for happy on the blue. Just going to pop them down, give that time to grab. Got the birthday. Throwing it. About a second just to grab as well. And then we've got 2 moo. So I think we'll have 2 on the yellow. And the moo on the orange. Pop them down. And I'm just going to snip back around this. I'll go to the blue one first, because that's being held the longest. So do it by eye. I'm just going to snip down the actual happy word, but leaving a little bit of that blue. We've got the birthday. Snip around that one. 2. And just another great way using these scraps up again, isn't it? And it brings your card back together. Snip down that one as well. There we go, happy birthday to me. So I'll get rid of these scraps because I don't need these now. And then we've got our lovely, friendly, cute cow that's in. There's big eyes, look. It's lovely. It's got a really nice thing. And the best thing about these cows is they don't need a lot of colouring in either. So I'm just going to fussy cut around them. There is a dye, but I'll be honest, I forgot it. So I'm just going to fussy cut around them. And they're quite easy shapes in fairness, so I do sometimes fussy cut rather than using the dye. Let's give him a little bit of a border. Chopping the edges off that we don't need as we go. Makes it a bit easier to turn the scissors. And then round this side. It's like when you're at home though, isn't it? And there's always that one die that you know you had and then you drop somewhere. Then you find it exactly when you finish. So just under his little chin. And I'm just going to go back to its horns and just take them round as well. There we go. We've got our lovely little friendly cow there. I'm just going to grab my watercolours and give them a little bit of a colour in now. Get my water. So, let's get a little bit of this pinky, I think, for his nose. I'll just clean my brush a bit better. Here we go. So, give a little bit of pink around his nose. And then I think we'll have some of the brown for his hoofs. And a little bit darker. Just colour these in. And I love leaving his body in black and white, but you could always change that up. You know what I mean? Cows don't have to be black and white. We'll just give him some nice little horns. And there we go, we've got our friendly little cow there. It's going to take a lot of colouring. You could add some more detail if you want to. But it's nice to go in with like a white pen and just give some stitch detail to his black spots. Let's get these back on our card now. So let's get our cow on some pads so he's a little bit higher. But you've disappeared, anyone else? Am I back, Maureen? That's our lovely cow at the bottom there. And I'm going to glue these down, but I just need to position them first. So we've got happy birthday to Moo. I think maybe like that. Or maybe, yeah, I think we'll go like that. Let's get the happy down first. Put that on the fence. And the birthday. And we've got the 2. And then the moo. I feel like there should be a dance track in that. There we go. Give that a good push down. And I'll stand it up for you. There you go. So just a really good way using your scraps of card that you've got. Get them flowers cut out and make a nice little DL, isn't it? It'd also look nice on a smaller card as well. You know, like if you've only got little square cards, You could easily half that and still have a lovely scene. It's great for the kids as well, get them to go chop out the flowers ready for these cards. So 2 brilliant demonstrations today. That was the first one with the star. Put that there. You can see we've got 2 different interpretations. Something we can both have a go at though, isn't it? It really is easy techniques. Just a bit of card, having a play around, and you can see that 2 great cards, different kind of recipients. I think you'd be happy with any of them if you recreated them yourself. So I tried doing sentimental quotations like that. It didn't go well. Do you know, sometimes you overthink it, don't we? We cut things trying to quirky angle them and it just don't look right, but you just got to go for it. And then it does pull together, it really does. So I can see you enjoy them anyway, so thanks very much for that. Don't forget as well on Facebook, we've had 600 followers, so there's a giveaway on there. So go and have a look on the Facebook page. It tells you how to enter that if you want to have a go, and it stops at midnight tonight. And then obviously Best of Crafts Awards, I need your vote. But thank you very much. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you next Monday. See you later. Bye-bye.